Can you hear me okay? Let me know in the comments. And let me get you situated here. As you can see, we've got a topic today, and it's how to fix a boxy bodice. Let me see if I can zoom in for you. See the difference there? There's no scooping in under her bust. And then there is. So we're going to do some scooping in today. I hope you like the idea of that. It's so needed. This is such a helpful alteration to do. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me. I'm going to grab this dress, and I'm also going to show you what my sketch looks like. So I just went through a boot camp back in August that I offered. It was called the Fitting Room Finesse Boot Camp. We just finished that one, and I hope to reuse that footage, repackage it into a course that stays. So be looking out for that if you missed the boot camp. But we did go into stuff like this, like how do I take my notes in the fitting room so that I can see later what to do. So this is my notes. A lot of times I'll do kind of like a line drawing / sketch of the dress, and yeah, it kind of looks like a dress, kind of, right? But the point is I drew details that were accurate for what I would need to know later, okay? So did I bother with trying to draw lace or anything like that? No. Sometimes if there's like, hello, Jane, can you hear me okay, darling? Sometimes if there's like a particular piece of lace, like a rose or something that I needed to fix right underneath the rose, I would sketch the rose on there. But for the most part, what was important about this sketch, thank you, Jane. Hi, Stacy. The important part about this sketch is that I did count the sticks of boning and kind of where they were hitting. Obviously, I didn't worry about this side. I didn't worry about the skirt. None of the notes are about that. But I did mark, we're going to bring in the strap 3/4 of an inch total to tighten it. And we're going to remove the lace under the cup and add 2 darts. And then I also put on here that I took pictures of her dress on September 27th. So the reason why I write that is if I'm ever looking at these notes and it's lacking a little bit of detail and I'm like, oh man, like, wait a minute, it said do this alteration to one side, like which side? Or if I said the right side, was it her right, my right, whatever? You know, questions come up later. So when I do that, I can pull up the pictures and look at the dress on her body. That's why I do that. So I always take before pictures and after pictures, but then I also try to intermittently take pictures. Drop information in there in the comments if you want to talk about that app. You're perfectly welcome to chat about it. And you guys can ask questions of her as well. Stacy Reisner is a longtime subscriber to my channel, and she's a very capable seamstress, guys. I trust her. So if you guys want to chat and find out what she's talking about there, have at it. And I'd love to hear it myself, Stacy. So audio is good. Thank you guys for letting me know that. So this is the sketch that I did for the alterations that you're getting ready to see. Let me grab that dress for you. Let's see here. You guys can just chat amongst yourselves. Let's see. It's not that one. I moved the dress while I was pulling the ticket off. So this is the sounds you hear is me digging through 2 different bags that have a similar dress. I found it. Hello, Leslie from Ontario. Awesome. Yeah, you guys let me know in the comments where you're from and what you're doing today. It's a Monday. It's kind of a dreary Monday here. I love dreary days. I'm a sunshine hater. So, let's see. For instance, the weather outside, as far as temperature wise, is probably perfect. But here I am. I love like this. I don't want the sun hitting me. I just love it like overcast. Um, I buy like the UV blocking driving gloves from Columbia because I literally just freckle and burn. So I love me an overcast day. All right, so here's those sticks of boning I was talking about. The center one, boop, 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 and then the other three. So that's going to let me know that I'm putting the darts in right here, and I drew like a little shadow of the cup. So it's going to be coming in right here. Look at how this comes out. It looks awful on her. Like this bodice, it's so weird. Zero shape to this bodice. Who made this? I don't even know. Oh, that. Is that? Let's see. BU size chart. Was that the Woo too? I think I'm remembering the name wrong. I do not like this label. I like labels that say the name instead of like a logo. I think was a huge branding mistake. But anyways, she had zero curve coming in at the top of the bodice, okay? She had zero curve. This is after we added 3 darts on each side. We kind of intermittently added them. You can see the little bumps. And then when we're finished, see that? All of this is going to be pressed, and you can see they laid the lace back over it, laying nice and smooth. So yeah, this was like this. And then underneath here, you can see how it doesn't cut in under her bust. And it just looks horrible on. It's so boxy. I don't know who made this. It'd be one thing if she was like a size 2, like to not really have any type of bust area. This is not a size 2. Let's see what size this is. Okay, size 22. Those girls are going to have a bust. What are they doing? We beefed it up with an extra push-up pad in there, added the curve, and then we're going to add the underbust curve today. So the first order of business, and I'm probably just going to do this side, is we're going to peel this lace away, and I explained the process to her. We're peeling this lace away, and then we're putting 2 darts here, and we're going to see it on her. And then after that fitting, that's when we're going to put the lace down. But you can see how much better that would look just doing that. You can do an under bust stay, kind of like a waist stay that you would sew on the inside of the waist to pull things back. I have seen that where you do an under bust stay and pull it back. We just are not doing that with this dress. I felt like the curve just isn't there. It'd be one thing if the curve was there, but we're having a trouble getting it to kind of pull back. That's not the case here. This thing is flat as a board. So let me check your comments real quick, and then we're going to sew. Jane from the UK. Miss Jesselle is asking about the app, and Stacy's giving details. Barbara K from South Africa. Malia is from Boise. Jane just finished another beautiful gown. So Stacy is telling us about this app. You record your session. Oh, and it writes a report at the end with all the details and timestamps into an outline format. Cool. So is this almost like what you would see on a Zoom call when they're like AI recording, Gemini report, whatever will be something like that? Is it kind of like that, Stacy? I've seen that on a lot of my calls now. Oh, okay, summary AI. I see that. Okay, yeah. Okay, so Mary from Manitoba. Yes, thank you, Stacy. You guys check that out. Summary AI. I'm seeing a lot more of that now when I'm on Zoom calls. All right, so let's get down to business with this. And I need to move this light over. Oh, why? Oh, she's stuck on something. Let me see if this is going to help this little dark corner. Yeah, I think so. Okay, perfect. All right. Can you guys see okay? We don't have to be super concerned about accidentally ripping this netting or cutting this netting with the razor because we get to put lace back over it when we're done. So that's cool. That is kind of a career longevity tip when you're sewing. It's really good to like consciously identify, okay, this is high risk, um, or this is not high risk. That way you're not continually working like in this fight or flight, high cortisol, high anxiety state. Right now, it literally doesn't matter, okay? Watch how much it doesn't matter. See that? Does not matter. Did I just do violence to her dress? No, I did not, because I'm going to put a dart there. It's literally going to be sewn and cut right there. That's how much it does not matter. So you shift that thinking, right? If I was like working here and she loved the sheer spot here, I would be so careful. That's when you bring in that more stressful, highly attuned kind of sewing approach. This is a very important tip, okay? If you want to last as a seamstress, that's what you've got to do. You got to say, oh, this part is low risk. Oh, this part is high risk. I better be on my toes, okay? So let's get this pulled away. This was sewn. Oh my gosh, way too many stitches. So we're definitely getting a hole here. And wherever there's not a hole, there's tracks from the thousands of stitches somebody invested into this little leaf. I'm not concerned because it's going to be covered in lace again. All right, so we've got this nice and out of the way. Let's see, I might be tapering up into this little bit right here. So that means if you're removing lace on something that you're getting ready to take in, you don't have to be quite as careful. You don't have to be so scared because that fabric is going to be gobbled up. Are we still going to be a little bit careful? Yeah, because someday somebody might need to let it out to wear it again, right? Not for this. If they let it out to wear it again, they would just have to patch over where these darts are going to be with some lace. This is never, never going to be exposed through here, okay? So no stress. All right, so we've got this cleared away, and then we're going to do little darts under here. I need to change my bobbin color. We basted some extra boning on here too. The boning was inadequate. What are they doing putting 1/4 inch wide boning in the bodice of a dress that's a size 22? Somebody is not thinking. What they're doing, I like to call it grading to oblivion. They probably worked, with their fit model who didn't have a full bust, didn't have all these curves. And they made the dress to suit her, and then they go in and grade the pattern for the largest sizes, and they never revisit the conversation of what support is needed as the cup size is increased. All right, so I'm going to go like this and fold it where I know I'm in the center of the boning, okay? I don't want this to slip away, so I'm going to put a pin in it. Any other time, I would be so nervous about this pin because if it gets put under pressure and pulling, you can get the little, the holes wobbled into it a little bit. or pin marks if it was satin or Mikado or something. And this pin is going to be to the left, which means to the outside, to the showing side, the showing part of where my stitches will be. So I would normally be kind of nervous about putting a pin in there to hold that if it's a dress that's not going to cover any secrets, cover any little, you know, little things like that, little pin marks, little snips, whatever. In this case, again, I'm not concerned. Very low risk situation. And please understand, I'm not talking about just being altogether irreverent with these dresses and not having to worry about like how it turns out. No, I very much care about how it turns out. But when you're talking about how stress accumulates over time at work, you need to know how to pick your battles. Am I going to worry about this or not? And this is one alteration. I'm just not going to worry too much about the picking and even the sewing because we're going to be covered in lace. People say that, oh, are lace dresses like more difficult to work on? No, they're more time consuming, but they're honestly less stressful and more forgiving. All right, so the shape of this dart, I'm going to have a really hard time showing you that clearly, so I'm going to sketch it for you. The shape of the dart, let me get my big sketchbook here. I'm going to draw it on the back of a used piece so I don't waste a whole piece of paper. The shape that I put in, like let's say this is the edge of the folded fabric. I'm coming in like pretty quick. It's that shape. Okay? Because this is the under part of her bust here, if you were looking at it from the outside. We want this to taper quickly because we don't want it to pop back out and look like a belly, right? That's the shape of the dart. So it's not this traditional shape. This makes a big difference, okay? So again, think about it. I'm being very mindful. The shape of the dart means everything for how this dress turns out. This is what I super, super care about. I'm not sitting here in agony like, oh no, what if I accidentally prick her fabric right here? This is the part we care about for this. And that's what's so important for keeping your longevity in this business. You just, it's kind of like I heard them say one time, detectives, law enforcement, whatever, they train them for these different color stoplights. You've got your green, you've got your yellow, you've got your red. And the red is this heightened alert, a heightened sense of danger and awareness. And when they're at work, they got to stay in red. When they're heading home, they got to stay in red. When they're going up into their house, they might be in yellow for a little while, but they've got to consciously get themselves back into green at some point, or you're going to drive yourself crazy. The reason why I want to talk about this so much today is because I hear you guys when you talk like in the Discord community. We are all getting our tails kicked right now. Fall, for any of you new to the bridal sewing industry, fall is the busiest time of the year for us. So we are all working so many long hours. So you have to know like when you can switch off about a detail, switch off just a little bit versus when you got to be red alert. Isn't that true, Stacy? All right, so again, I'm going to make that shape I just showed you. I'm going to come in almost like the bottom of a cup, swoop in, and then I'm really going to take my time tapering out here. All the way to the waistline. And if it looks like it's standing out too much, we can kind of correct that by pulling it a little bit from the sides, pulling it back to her a little bit. Okay. So here is her new, look at that slope that you can see now. That's so much better. Look, so much better. So this transition right here, it's happening so quickly. This is definitely going to need some lace over it, and that's fine, okay? And then we're going to cut away the extra of this dart. That's why I don't care if I cut this. It's going to be cut. And then we're just going to put our pieces of lace wherever they need to be. And we can even add lace as needed. But we can't really decode all of that without her body. I want to see her body in this before I judge where I'm going to put the lace. So that's how we did that. 2 darts at the underbust. Drop a question real quick if any of you have any questions, because that was the heart and soul of what I wanted to show you today and talk about today. Let's see. Oh gosh, Jane, I had a freaked out bride last year because she thought and told me I'd butchered her beautiful lace dress. She canceled the dress, so I made it anyway and displayed it in my window. Yeah, so a lot of it, guys, is prepping them for what they're getting ready to see. So, and I'm not saying you didn't do that, Jane. I mean, some people are just stressed out like that. The brides are. What I do before I bring this dress out, like, look at it, right? We got all these problems. Number one, I explain the process to them from the very beginning, that we have to peel the lace away, do our work, and then we put it back. And it's going to look like the dress was just born for her to wear. That's how I describe it to them. So when they come to fittings intermittently throughout the process, I just warn them. I'm like, okay, your dress is going to look like it's been attacked by a tiger. You just have to trust the process. I need you to try it on with the lace peeled away, exposing the work, so I can see what needs to be done. I promise you in the end, all the lace is going to be put back and you will never even know. But yes, we do have to peel your lace away. Yes, we do have to cut your dress. Yes, we use razors and scissors and all these sharp things, but that's part of the process and it's going to be okay. And almost all of them understand. Some of them are just anxious by nature in general. But most of the time they already know that about themselves, so they don't like hold it against me. So let's just see. Yeah, Stacy asking if they're prepared to see it in process. Exactly. Jane, they don't listen. Yeah, sometimes it's like that. I had one girl a couple weeks ago when I came in the fitting room. I said, raise your right hand. And she's like, okay. And she raises it. And I said, I so and so, trust you. And she's like, trust you? And I was like, yeah, it's going to be fine. So sometimes I kind of make it a little game, but yeah, I hope you guys liked this little sewing lesson today. If you're just now hopping on, make sure you catch the replay. I do need to say we have discovered what the audio issue is for the most part. If you watch the replay in the first 24 hours after I put this up, the audio is quiet until YouTube is done processing. If you see this about 2 days and beyond after I recorded it, the audio is usually pretty normal. So if you just can't hear it good in your audio situation and you're watching the replay the day after, give it another day and it should be good. It's on YouTube's end. There's nothing I can do about it. Please make sure that you are subscribed. Hit subscribe so you don't lose track of me. And hit that thumbs up button, please. Real quick, that like button before you go. I hope you all have a beautiful week. We'll be back here Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do these live streams most Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. My very niche bridal sewing instruction happens in this live stream format 3 times a week, mostly. Have a wonderful week. Bye.